Prior to joining ARC, Scott served in leadership roles with various county and regional economic development organizations in North Carolina, including most recently as president and CEO of Advantage West, a nonprofit regional economic development partnership serving the westernmost counties of North Carolina. We are so thrilled to welcome Scott back to North Carolina, and we really look forward to working with him as he leads Golden Leaf Foundation into the future. Scott, we welcome you to give some words of welcome and introduce our winner.
Thank you, Bronwyn. I was introduced as the third president of the Golden Leaf Foundation, and I'm going to go off script just a minute and recognize the second president of the Golden Leaf Foundation, who served with dedication and left an organization in tremendous shape, Mr. Dan Gerlach, and we should thank him. Well-deserved recognition, Dan, and thank you for all of your work in North Carolina. Well, it is an honor to be here and to be back in North Carolina. I'm also very excited to have been asked by the Rural Center to introduce this year's Rural Leader of the Year, Catherine Parker. Catherine is a graduate of the Rural Center's 2018 Ready class. She was born and raised just outside of Murfreesboro, North Carolina, and attended Hertford County Public Schools. It is with great pride that Catherine now serves as the director of the School-Based Health Services, a department of the Roanoke Chowan, did I do it? All right, Community Health Center. The health center serves federally designated medically underserved areas and populations. Community health centers provide coordinated primary and preventive services that promote reductions in health disparities for low-income individuals, racial and ethnic minorities, and rural communities, and other underserved populations. Catherine obtained her bachelor's in health education and promotion with a concentration in community health, and her master's in health education and promotion from East Carolina University. Her main focus has been on increasing quality interagency partnerships, addressing food insecurities, advocating for youth empowerment opportunities, increasing access to reproductive health services for youth, and raising awareness for childhood cancer. Catherine was also a Jim Bernstein Community Health Leadership Fellow in 2017. She's the co-founder of Henry and Daniel's Holiday Helpers. It's a program serving children who are in the hospital during the holidays. Catherine has used her skills and tools from the Ready experience to leverage funding and to collaborate across sectors with the newly funded project that tackles obesity and food security while engaging youth as leaders in learning agriculture and entrepreneurial skills. It should be no surprise that she was nominated to receive this year's Rural Leader of the Year award. So let's give a loud congratulations to Catherine Parker.
Thank you. Whew, wow. I really cannot tell y'all how much this means to me. I'll be honest, when I first got the email letting me know, I was sharing my office space with my coworkers and just grinding away, and I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, and literally just started crying. And I know they thought I was crazy because it's just such a surprise and an unbelievable honor. I was asked to talk about some of the projects that we're doing, and so I thought rather I'd share some of the lessons I've learned from the work that we've done back home. So how many of you brushed your teeth today? Okay. Whew. Well, I'm glad to hear it, and I'm sure that the person sitting next to you is as well. One of my roles has been going into classrooms with this adorable alligator puppet and talking to kids about the importance of brushing your teeth. So this is just a regular program, pretty simple, straightforward. Well, one day, it had been about 3 months since I had done the program, and I was walking through the hallway, and a class was passing me by, and this kid saw me, and he just lit up and shouted, "Hey, I brush my teeth every day now." But you know, it hit me like a ton of bricks because he said, "I brush my teeth every day now." And there are so many things that we do during our busy day that we just take for granted. So one lesson I've learned is that we should slow down a little bit and be present, because some of the most mundane, run-of-the-mill tasks may actually be life-changing for other people. Who here has ever worked on a project with lots of really big personalities? Yeah, you know the ones. No one can agree on anything. Everyone's running in different directions. It's just chaos. Well, that's pretty much a good summary of how our community's Farm to School to Healthcare project started out. We wanted to see flourishing gardens, bountiful youth-led markets. They wanted chickens, goats, bees, walking trails. They just wanted everything. And honestly, the first couple of years, we just found ourselves surrounded by weeds, literally. But we stayed the course, and by some miracle, we kept this big, rambunctious group of people together. We've experienced many great successes as a team, from increasing our youth-led farmers markets with a produce trailer, to hosting local foods workshops, to expanding the Paw Path to include a storybook trail, which was built and led by high schoolers. And man, we've had some fun along the way. But it was only after we embraced the quote, "If you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together." This has never been truer than in our rural communities. We have to rely on one another to get where we are going. And we have to give ourselves that grace to slow down, take a few steps back, and be okay with it. We'll get there, don't worry. The next lesson I learned came after watching the documentary Resilience. How many of you have seen that documentary? Yeah, it's really good. The first time I watched it, I said, we have got to get Miss Kendra into our classrooms. It was a really long shot, but with the support of amazing funders, 2 fearless principals, and some of the bravest teachers I've ever met, I'm proud to say that Hertford County was the first school system in the state to implement the Miss Kendra program. And that's a really big deal for us. I'm not gonna lie, it's very tough to tackle issues like child abuse and neglect, let alone to have those conversations directly with the children who may be experiencing it. But I'm proud to say our teachers are doing it every day. Every week in classrooms around the county, kids are being reminded that some things shouldn't happen to them. But if they do, they can put words to their worries, and they'll be surrounded by people who are willing to listen and lean into those hard conversations. So I learned the lesson that you should dream big, but make sure your hands and your heart are ready for the work. There are lots of challenges to overcome, but with the right vision, people will willingly join you. Lastly, the most important lesson that I've learned is just don't drown. There's so much important but unbelievably hard work to be done in our communities. We live there, and many of us are from there, so we feel a deep need to solve all the problems today. It slaps us in the face every time we walk in the office, but there's also that constant reminder, whether we are grocery shopping or driving home. The needs are just overwhelming. But we have to make sure we take stock of where we're at personally. I tell my team this because I've been there. I've felt like I was drowning. I've questioned whether I was in the right place. I've questioned if I was good enough for the role I was in. In fact, I was questioning that very thing the morning I read this email about the award. I think it is just so very important to remind one another, don't drown, shout for help, tag out, take a minute, take care of yourself because you deserve that. And at the end of the day, it isn't about me or you, it's about us. It's about our communities and what we commit to doing together. Because our greatest legacy isn't going to reveal itself today or maybe even tomorrow. It will sneak up one day when you're down in the weeds and wondering if you're making any progress. It will come from that small child who's just so excited to see you and share that they brush his teeth every day now. And that will be all the reassurance you need that the struggle is worth it and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So thank you all again for this amazing honor. It's really surreal. So I promise to keep on keeping on and try to do my best to do the good work ahead of me. I hope that I can live up to the role models in my life, my sisters, my parents, my coworkers, and to be the best version of myself for the community that raised me up and has given me so much throughout my life. Thank y'all so much.
Listen, I'm gonna read. You wanna read this? I gotta put my glasses on.
The North Carolina Rural Center presents the 2019 Rural Leader of the Year Award to Catherine Parker.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh.
It is.